Hello, Libra. Welcome to your June soul session. I'm Princess India if you're new, and if you're family, welcome back, my friend. And that's not, or whatever. If you're not familiar with what my soul sessions are, they are your spirituality as well as personal, development readings in which we look at the energies, that you guys may encounter for a given month. My cards are just being crazy. For the sole purpose of giving you insight, clarity, and guidance on how to overcome any challenges that you guys may be facing this month. So we're going to go ahead and jump right, come on, cards, work with me right into you guys reading and see what's going on for you guys for the month of June. So the first card out, Libra, let's come up a couple of times this month, is the Temperance card. So coming out of the month of May and into June, my Librans are in a place to where you guys are trying to find balance. However, here's the deal. I don't want to say trying to find balance. I want to say cultivating balance, but not just like any kind of balance. It's more or less that idyllic state of balance. And if we were to say, what the heck do I mean by that? It's more or less understanding how true balance, what it is first and how one aligns with that. And an example I often give with this that you guys may have heard me say thousands of times before on this channel is existing in a state of balance requires a great deal of minor adjustments. So it's less about it being an end goal, right? Or a state that one fights to get to, right? And it's more about it being a lifestyle, right? So it's just like driving your car. If you're driving your car and you're trying to stay in the lane, you don't hold on to your steering wheel to stay in that particular lane. It's minor adjustments that you're making to the wheel in order to stay straight. So that's why I say it's more or less something you guys are curating. It's not something that you're just desiring. I feel this is an active work. So more or less, balance is becoming a part of your lifestyle. Now, what this can mean for you guys is this is more or less, it could be speaking to work-life balance, right? Making sure that, you're using my 3/8 rule. It's not necessarily mine. A lot of people use it, you know what I'm saying? But it's looking at the day in 3 facets, that you use 8 hours for sleep, you use 8 hours for work, and then you have another 8 hours that you can use as you like. Something along those lines, or seeing where you guys were kind of off kilter with something and trying to integrate all of the proverbial slices of your pie chart to be equaled out. So that's a good place to be. And that's also Sagittarius energy. Another thing I would say about that too, with this coming out in reference to the latter part of May, is the Sagittarius, I gotta say the whole thing, the super full moon eclipse in Sagittarius, which was on the 26th of May. So that week may be of importance to you guys to where, a major shift really, princess? Where a major shift happened, Mercury retrograde, dude, I can never talk. Where a major shift happened or something could have been eclipsed out of you guys' life that actually by default created balance. Now, the next card that we have is my Petty LaBelle card. It's the 5 of Wands in the reverse. Then we have the 8 of Wands. That's interesting. Next card that we have is the Magician in the reverse. So here is the thing, my wonderful Libra. With this 5 of Wands in the reverse, this is speaking to an inner conflict. So here's the deal. More or less, when we're looking at this Temperance energy, it's like the former part of May. It's almost as if Libras came into a place to where you realize something needed to change. And that something that needed to change was there being a need to cultivate more balance into your life. And it's something that you guys are working to get to. However, there being an inner conflict within you, this could be one of a couple of things. This can either be implementing change, right? Because whenever we start to implement change, so if we went back to that 3/8 rule, if you were, trying to train yourself to sleep 8 hours a night, right? Or to integrate working out into your schedule or what have you, there's always going to be a discomfort when you're first starting something, right? So with this 5 of Wands, it can be conflict in that regard. This can also be inner conflict in reference to backlash that you guys may be getting from people around you. So say if this is like establishing boundaries where hypothetically after work, you always go get drinks with your coworkers or whatever, or get dinner with your coworkers, but you realize, I love how I'm just writing somebody's whole life story right now, but you realize, because you're in school, right? You're taking up a couple of classes. You realize that, hanging out with your coworkers after work is, cutting in on your study time, So it's making the decision to kind of pull back on that, or being in fear of cutting back on that, not wanting to upset people, and kind of overcompensating in a sense. And that kind of causing a sense of unrest, like you want to hang out with your coworkers. You don't want to disappoint them by saying no type of deal. But then with this 8 of Wands being the next card for you guys, this is really what the conflict is, is there really needs to be a decision that's being made here. Both with this 5 of Wands in the reverse and the Magician in the reverse speaks to you guys not standing in your power. Whatever transpired in the latter part of May is more or less speaking to a need for balance, and there being a desire for balance, or you guys working towards the balance. But I feel executing whatever lifestyle changes need to happen in order for you guys to be in this state of balance is either causing backlash from people around you, is provoking fear within you, or it feels a little bit like a little people pleasing, But the whole premise is here is on both like a higher level in the sense of the Magician, or on an interpersonal level with the 5 of Wands in the reverse. It's really speaking to you guys not stepping in your power. And I feel with this 8 of Wands, even though there's a desire to move forward and things are kind of lined up for you guys to move forward, the thing that's holding you back is not making this decision, or kind of just sitting in this conflict. So what this is saying to me overall, Libra, I feel like y'all reading is just so wordy already. It's more or less a need to make a decision, because the energy that I feel, if I were to put it in a tarot card, it would be like the 2 of Pentacles, It's kind of weighing your options, like knowing where you are, knowing what needs to be done to get what it is that you want, but kind of going back and forth, like kind of like an ambivalence, if you will. So it's knowing what you want to do, like you want to move forward, knowing that the secret elixir to get there is this balance, but it's not necessarily taking action, right? Or being afraid to take action. And what this is really saying for you guys is there's a need for you all to stand in your power. And also the Magician is Aries energy, just throwing that out there. So this is more about you guys taking initiative. And I feel the root of a lot of this conflict, whether it's just within yourself or it's with you guys in relation to other people, the true root of the conflict is the fact that you guys need to stand in your power. I don't know why these cards don't want to come out, Libra. Oh yeah. Next card that you guys have is the Chariot in the reverse, and that's Cancer energy. This is so fascinating. Literally, if I were to look at this as major and minor arcanas, it's like the 5 of Wands in the reverse, like I said, is reflective of this Magician in the reverse, and this Chariot in the reverse is reflective of this 8 of Wands energy. So with the Chariot, it's more or less there's a need to move forward. However, the reason why one cannot move forward is because there's a lack thereof of balance. So it's more or less needing to get on one accord with yourself. So if I were to make this a little bit more simpler, Libra, piggybacking to this energy from May, this desire for balance in your life can either be an aha moment, a realization you guys came to, right, of that being the ultimate end goal. It's just that there's a lot of hurdles that one would need to jump in order to get it. And either you guys have started to implement it, aren't sure how to implement it, or literally it could be the possibility, Libra, that there's not being any work that's done in the direction of it just yet. And it's an interesting thing. How can I explain this? Oh, child, that's 3 cards. It's an interesting thing with this. And it kind of reminds me of Leo a little bit. of what I said to them a few months ago. It's like, and this is going to be a silly example. You want to graduate from college, right? You want your bachelor's degree, but you don't want to have to go to 4 years of school. You don't even want to do 3. It's like you want to go 1 semester and you want to have a bachelor's, right? Now that sounds so insane, but that's literally what this energy feels like for me, from this Temperance to this 5 of Wands in the reverse to the 8 of Wands. It's like, in May, you guys realize, wow, I need to make some lifestyle changes. I need to establish some boundaries. I need to sleep more. I need to work out more. I need to spend less time with my friends, you know, something along those lines. And now, with you being consciously aware of what it is that you need to be working towards, it's some of you guys who have started to implement little changes and it's causing upsets, or you're struggling with an internal conflict because you know what needs to be done and you either feel that you can't make those changes, you fear upsetting someone or disappointing someone by making those changes, right? So you haven't quite made the full commitment to it, but there's still a desire to move forward, and there's a strong unction in your gut that's telling you to move forward with this, right? But the why that all of this is happening goes again to the Magician in the reverse, of the fact that you're not standing in your power. It's like you've had the revelation, you know, you got the insight, or, you know, somebody helped you realize what the source of the issue was, but it's a fear of standing in one's power or not wanting to, I could just say fear, because it's all going to be fear-based anyway, but or a reluctance to stand in your power. And that's ultimately what's preventing you guys with this Chariot in the reverse from moving forward. So there's a need for you to be on one accord with yourself and the stance that you take within you, for you to manifest that to the without, right? In order for things to move forward. And there's no way around that, really. And the next card we have is the 3 of Coins in the reverse. Then we have the 3 of Swords. And then we have the 3 of Wands. That's a lot of 3s there going on. So with this 3 of Coins in the reverse, there is an element here of trying to figure this out on your own. And it's going back to this concept of not being able to solve a problem with the same mind that created it. On some sense or another here, Libra. And even if it could be literally about anything, the thing that's standing out to me the most is this being about like a work-life balance kind of thing. But looking at this 3 of Coins in the reverse, we could even be talking about this being unhealthy spending habits, right? The desire to move forward could be to purchase a home, right? Or to move, or, you know, to buy a car, right? But you're not managing your money properly. It's like what is that? Spending cost, not return on investment. I can't remember what the proper financial term for it is, but income to spending ratio. It's like something like that. It's like the amount of money that's coming in, it's like living beyond your means, if that makes sense. So it's like this energy that's thrusting you forward is this thing that you want, whether it's a house, whether it's a car, whether it's moving, you know, an emergency savings, whatever the case may be, birthday party, it doesn't matter what it is. So there's some goal that Libra wants to achieve. Libra realizes in May that the main issue that is preventing you from getting this thing that you want so bad is that there's an imbalance somewhere, you know, with your, you know, income to spending ratio, if that's what it's called, right? So that means like almost living paycheck to paycheck, right? So money that's coming in that could be put to the side for savings is being spent on fast food or, you know, facials or, you know, whatever, you know? So it's not making that change. It's knowing this is the problem, right? Knowing that that's something that's preventing you to get to where you want to go, your ultimate end goal, but kind of being stuck at this crossroads or this impasse, right? Now, this 3 of Coins says to me that the reason for you guys being stuck there is not standing in your power or having inner conflict about it, which could simply be not knowing what to do. So if this was a financial thing, it's like you not knowing how to manage your finances, which there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. You know, that's not something that's innate to everyone. But the problem is here, that's also leading to what's keeping you guys stuck is the fact that it's not reaching out for help, right? It's like, I'm mismanaging my money. So hypothetically, I'm mismanaging my money, right? I want to buy a car, right? I was made aware in May that the reason why I'm working so hard and I still haven't bought a car is because I'm spending like just about as much money as I make, right? But it's like, I've tried to fix my spending, but I'm still, you know, money is still kind of seeping out of everywhere, right? So that's the issue that Libra is in. And now because Libra has tried, so this is me kind of giving you guys advice in reference to this, is now that you've tried to do it yourself and it still hasn't worked, now would be a time to reach out to someone who can help you, whether that's like, you know, a partner or a sibling or a friend or a parent or whatever the case that can help you kind of create a plan to do it. Some of you guys may need to go to a, you know, a financial coach, you know, whatever the case may be. Or I know I had a client before who told me because they were a swiper. That is like my sin, I swear. But they're like a swiper, but they found that using cash made them more accountable. So they actually had their mom, and they were an adult, right? But their mom was the only person they knew they could trust with their debit card, right? But they had their mom hold their debit card and they gave themselves like a cash allowance every week of what they could spend and what they couldn't spend. And it kept them more accountable. So that would be an example of like reaching out to someone outside of yourself, but not necessarily having to go as far as getting like a financial planner, if that makes sense. Now, with the other two cards, with the Three of Swords and with the Three of Wands, all three of these cards to me, ooh, child, I don't know why I'm not going to say every reading. It was literally Gemini in another sign I did where my breathing is labored. And that's a sign of like the sign I'm reading for being under like a heavy level of like stress and like to feel it in your body that heavily where you can't breathe is like anxiousness or it's just a really heavy burden. So most certainly, Libra, if you guys are stressed out like this, I sincerely apologize that you guys are going through this, but I really feel the solution lies in reaching out to someone outside of yourself. And it doesn't necessarily always have to be a professional. But these threes, the fact that this is 333, and this is your last three cards, this speaks to me a great deal of temperance energy, which is really speaking to a transmutation, right? It's adjustments like a chemist makes, like alchemy in so many words, which is what the magician speaks to. So the overall theme of this month, Libra, is not just being balanced, like justice, your namesake, right? Or like the scales. This is a whole nother level of balance in the sense of it being transmutation, meaning that it's taking two things, bringing them together and making something entirely new or different, right? So I feel this is saying for you guys that you know, were headed one direction in life. You tried to go another direction in life, right? And now it's like, well, what do I do? Because I tried to the left, I've tried to the right. None of those things work. Whenever we're going to a new level spiritually, we have to master both sides of our proverbial Likert scales and then come back to the middle road to transcend that particular timeline. And that's what it's looking like the month of June is for you guys. It's about y'all transcending the timeline that you've been on because you've tried it so many different ways. And now it's time for a completely new approach, right? There has to be another element that comes in because your schematic is no longer working, right? So there has to be another method that comes in because this Three of Wands, of course, is speaking to having your eyes on the future again, like the Eight of Wands, wanting to move forward, seeing where it is that you want to go, you know? But it's this disappointment of knowing I need balance. This is my end goal, but I just can't seem to get out of this, kind of, it's making me think, is that Tetris? Like the little game where it's the little ball going back and forth? It's like, that's what your energy is kind of like. And the solution to this problem is I would say a third party, but it's not necessarily a third party if it's just one of you, So it's like a second party. It's someone outside of yourself. So I've said a whole bunch. It's Mercury retrograde. Please don't judge me, Libra. I know y'all love me. I really love y'all, so don't judge a girl. Sorry if this is very wordy and I went all the way around the world, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, but the whole premise of this is, Libra, there's balance that's needed, not the atypical up and down kind of balance. It's a whole new method or a whole new schematic that has to be brought in. And this isn't something you can do by yourself. In order to get out of this circle, it's time to bring another person in that has fresh eyes that can give you a new perspective on whatever this is you guys are dealing with. And y'all gonna have to tell me in the comments what this is that y'all dealing with, okay? Because I done gave about 11 examples. And it's like, because this could be so much stuff, but I would love to know what it is, just to give me, more context. It'll help more people in the future where I don't have to give 1,000 scenarios. You know what I'm saying? But anywho, that's been your reading, Libra. I love your freaking face. I'm going over to my network to do you guys extended. We're going to play out the rest of the month, and then I'm going to do a little pick a card for you guys, for advice for, each one of those 3 little groups that I'm going to pull for the month. So if you're about that life, follow me on over there. But if not, I still love your freaking face, Libra. I do. I really do. I really love Libras. Y'all are the ones that blew up my channel. Like that little thing right there. Wait, okay, wrong direction. Wait, is it? No, here. Oh, there we go. This is really hard to do this. That right there, I can thank a lot of Librans for that. I'm just saying. Anywho, I love your face. I'll see you guys sooner than later. Love you, Libra.